Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of our podcast. I'm Emma, and I'm here with James. Today, we're talking about a topic that affects many of our listeners: how learning English can change your life. English is more than just a language. It's a key that opens countless doors. Let's dive into this fascinating subject together. James, let's start with you. How has learning English impacted your life?
Honestly, Emma, it has completely changed my life. For one, it's given me opportunities I never thought I'd have, like working with international clients. But beyond that, it's made me more confident.
That's amazing. Confidence is such an important benefit of learning a language. Do you think you'd have the same career opportunities without knowing English?
Definitely not. The company I work for values employees who can communicate globally. English has become essential for that. But what about you, Emma? Has English changed your life?
Absolutely. Learning English allowed me to study abroad. It was a dream of mine, but it would have been impossible without knowing the language. Plus, I've made so many friends from different countries because of English.
That's so inspiring. I think people often underestimate the social benefits of learning a language. Like, it's not just about grammar or vocabulary. It's about connecting with people.
Exactly. And not just people, but also cultures. You know, when you understand English, you can watch movies, read books, or listen to music in the original language. It feels like stepping into another world.
Oh, I completely agree. I remember the first time I watched a movie without subtitles. It felt so rewarding. Speaking of movies, what's your favorite English language movie?
That's a tough one. I think I'd say The Pursuit of Happiness. It's such an emotional film, and the dialogues are really powerful. What about you?
For me, it's Forrest Gump. The story, the characters, the emotions, it's all incredible. Plus, the way they speak is clear, which is great for learners.
That's a classic. But you know, it's not just movies. Even simple conversations become easier when you know English. Have you ever had a moment when knowing English saved the day?
Oh, yes. I remember traveling to Germany. I didn't speak German, but everyone there spoke some English. It made my trip so much smoother. What about you?
For me, it was at a conference. I had to give a last-minute presentation, and knowing English helped me pull it off. It reminded me how important it is to stay consistent in learning.
Speaking of consistency, let's talk about the challenges of learning English. It's not always easy, is it?
Not at all. I remember struggling with grammar and pronunciation at the beginning. There were days I felt like giving up. Did you feel that way too?
Oh, many times. I think the biggest challenge for me was confidence. I was afraid of making mistakes. But over time, I realized mistakes are just part of the process.
That's so true. Mistakes are proof that you're learning. For me, joining a language group helped. It made learning fun and less stressful. What about you?
Podcasts and TV shows were my saviors. They made learning enjoyable. And it's funny. Sometimes you learn the most when you're not even trying.
Absolutely. Like when you catch yourself singing an English song or laughing at a joke in a movie, those small moments show your progress.
Exactly. But Emma, let's talk about the bigger picture. Why do you think learning English is so important in today's world?
I think it's because English connects the world. It's the language of business, science, and even social media. If you want to stay informed and connected, English is almost a necessity.
That's a great point. And it's not just about work or education. Even small things, like ordering food in a foreign country or making a new friend, become easier with English.
So true. Before we wrap up, James, what advice would you give to someone who's just starting to learn English?
I'd say, don't focus too much on being perfect. Focus on being better every day. Also, surround yourself with English. Listen to it, speak it, and even think in it.
Great advice. I'd add one more thing: set realistic goals. It's a journey, not a race. Celebrate small wins, like learning a new word or completing a conversation.
Absolutely. And for our listeners, remember, the effort you put into learning English will pay off in ways you can't even imagine.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. We hope this discussion has inspired you to keep learning and growing. And don't forget to check out the PDF for this episode. It includes vocabulary, exercises, and tips to make your English learning journey even more enjoyable.